I've got two earphones in.
Right, we're on. Hello everyone, so welcome back. We did try playing this a moment ago, but Randy kind of screwed me over, so I'm having to start it up again and see what happens. I alt-tabbed out for a moment because somebody pinged me in Discord, and then lost the start bar completely. So yeah, I'm back. We've not applied the ini fix, and hopefully, I say hopefully this will be alright, and then it kind of screwed up there a little bit. Why am I not surprised with Randy? Okay, so yeah, I'm excited to play this again, if it doesn't screw me over again. You know, I would like to be able to access my, my game and the... What the... Oh, I see. We're in... No, wait a minute. This is the DLC, right, Shaun?
No.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I was trying to remember how the game plays out. We're on Ultra Badass, right?
Yeah, we're on Ultra Badass.
Okay. Okay,
so
yeah, let's go.
I literally got two earphones in, so I've got one speaking to you, and then I've got one so it doesn't be dead loud on me.
Yeah. It's cool, it's cool. Thank you very much for the consideration. Dude, I'm still jarred by that whole startup though. It's like, okay, we'll start next minute. Yeah, you ain't starting.
Well,
like, oh, okay.
It could be that, or Microsoft literally makes you not have the mic on.
Oh yeah, that one too. Here's where the volume from the game is like really low, but I don't mind it. I remember Hicks's message. We saw it in the previous part anyway from the DLC, but
yeah. This time we just don't have a Marine coming out of nowhere and go like, get up.
Yeah. Okay.
So this planet we're literally going to be on LV 426.
Yeah.
In the book, he's already killed 2 company Marines, plus Hicks's company.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, LV 426 in I think River Pain has a company of Marines already attached on the planet.
I'm gonna have to have a look at it.
Yeah, so apparently this planet has killed so many Marines. It's like, what the hell?
I just saw like 4 different company names come up there, and I'm like, oh boy, you know.
I'm gonna have to go in settings. That's gonna be the audio.
I'll probably have to turn the audio up a little bit.
It shouldn't be that low. I didn't turn it that low.
I know, right?
If I remember for the law, a battalion's like 300 strong in
God knows
the alien universe.
I just laugh at how they don't send everybody in. They send them in like in smaller platoons. They wake them up when it's necessary, and they don't consider the whole thing of just use overwhelming numbers, you know. Instead, it's like D-Day. We keep sending the boats in one after another, you know.
Yeah, it's literally Marines have gone missing. Let's
send in
wake
more.
up another company of 12 to 6 men to send over. Well, they've gone missing as well. Let's wake another set up.
Oh, I love the loader in the background.
I wouldn't be sending Marines to the ship on its own. I'd be literally sending them to the planet, you know, to just check stuff out.
Hi Devasia, nice to see you in chat. Hope the audio's okay. Hope you can hear me and Shaun. Not so sure about the game though.
We got a smart ass here.
I love that. We don't know how we got back here, but we don't mind because we're gonna hand wave it. It's like, oh, okay.
Like a jarhead just thinks like, I'll just keep butting the wall. At some point, the crack will open and come bigger. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like that. And on top of that, you've literally got gunships driving around, flying around this spaceship, other battleship, and not one of them sees Weyland-Yutani ships or.
Oh yeah, Weyland-Yutani ships or anything. Yeah. Is it just me, or does this game look better than you remember it?
Yeah, they did do an update patch where it fixed a lot of the bugs. You know,
I was gonna say
bugs.
I can hear just fine, Sister Vasia. Okay, that's good. Yeah, like
I got my gun.
yeah, no joke. This looks better than what I remember it looking like. Like, admittedly, I'd like to mess around with Reshade at some point.
You should have
a
your
look.
DLC one, lad, at least.
No, I don't think I do. Grenade, rifle. Can't have an Alien Colonial Marine stream without it going tits up, says Damon. Hey, Damon.
I'm gonna keep me. Wait a minute. Was that Hicks's? Yeah, it is.
So yeah, this looks better than what I remember on the Xbox, at least. Then again, it's literally been a decade since we played that one, and I'm already back to looking at small things.
I'm just gonna go in settings, so.
Yeah, it's no problem. I'll just start looking at the textures and stuff.
So if you go down, should I not pick you up because you're looking at textures?
I was like, Shaun, have you seen this? Oh god, the tutorial mode. It's gonna give me a tutorial every 2 seconds.
Like, dude, as long as you don't pull a grenade out in here, we should be fine.
As long as we don't pull a grenade out. It's okay, it's fine. It's no big deal.
Look, dude, there's another company that's just disappeared.
Okay, totally fine.
Like, that spaceship should be bigger, but.
It's like you said, they're so close, they're scanning it with gunships. And yet, they're hearing no reports of any Weyland-Yutani ships in the area. They've seen no sort of damage from the exterior. It's like, what's going on here, guys? Nobody's thought to hold the umbilical either. You know, like you'd expect if you're sending in Marines, you'd expect one company to do the scouting and another one to hold the umbilical as a safe point. But instead, nobody's holding it. You know, unless these guys are meant to hold it and they're all down, apart from 2 of them. And it's like, well, if they're all down apart from 2, what happened here? You know, there's no implication of anything happening. Sorry to hear that, Devasia. Hope everything goes okay. Like, if it was me for here, I'd have a group of Marines down, have maybe an alien body or something, and then have a load of like drag marks across the floor to imply that the aliens got as far as the umbilical. You know.
Yeah.
That would make sense as to why there's a fight round here and everybody's down. But then it's like, oh, but we showed the alien off too early. It's like, are you kidding me? Everyone kind of expects that in this game at the moment. You know.
That should be bigger though.
Well, the dropship.
Yeah, it should be a bit bigger and like wider. Because it's literally having an
entire company of Marines in, yeah.
Entire company of Marines plus a gun truck as well. The gun truck,
yeah, there's no way an APC is fitting in that scale. Yeah, no, you're right.
Like, that's what amazes me. Like, if I look at the boots from the law, you know, the blueprint one.
Yeah.
Like, it should be the
should be the same size as the hangar.
Like, it should be about up to here. to the other side in
Like,
width.
yeah, it should, like, you see the entire room, the size of the room, it should be scaled up to that. Because if it was me, I'd make the marine model first. Then, even though I know I might not use it, I'd make a very blocky model of the APC to get an idea of the APC scale to the marines. Then I'd be like, okay, I'll scale that up to the dropship.
Like,
You
I
know.
know the APC used to be the trucks that literally moved the Boeing planes around
Yeah, yeah.
with just armor on it, but it's supposed to have like a set of 12 seats for a company, and then observers as well attached to it, and a driver. So
Oh, sweet, they've actually got everybody's names. I didn't pay attention to this previously. So there's Gorman, there's Apone, Hudson, Vasquez, Dietrich, Hicks.
there he is. Well,
Wait, why does Hicks still have his armor in there? That makes no sense.
let's have a look.
His armor's still in there? That makes no sense.
No, his shoe pads and that.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, he took his chest armor off, but he still had his pants, his bottom armor, and his helmet on when he
Yeah.
when she got him into the ship. So
Then who else we got here? Drake, Ferrero, Ferro, sorry.
do you want to see what this one's a nod to?
Hang on.
The one what has no name on it.
Lebowski, Spunkmeyer. Go on.
It's actually the guy who's supposed to play as X.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's him. It's his locker, but it hasn't got his name on it. So yeah, so the guy who was gonna play X, who already started recording as X before he left for another movie,
Yeah.
and then they got James Cameron got one of his friends to do the guy who plays X, because so we actually got the X that we like. The other guy's actually in the movie called Warriors. If you want to know, like, he's the big
Okay.
muscly guy who gets arrested by the female police officer in the park.
I'm just having a look at. Wait, what? Dude, this makes no sense either. Look, they've got double sets of lockers for everybody. Like, I just saw Vasquez is back there and Ferro's, and yet we've got Ferro and Vasquez's ones here. Unless one locker's for armor and this is for personal effects, but that makes no sense.
By the look, it does make sense, because don't forget, the Sulaco is that company Marines flagship, so they'll always use that to bounce to A to B.
Yeah.
So they'll have a locker room for their armor, and then they'll just have a locker room for when they wake
Personal
up to
stuff.
put clothes on. Yeah, it's just personal stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because maybe I'm thinking about it too much here, but it's just like, that made no sense. John says, this game burns my eyes. It's not that bad. Hey, Sky. Nice to see you. Honestly, I'm actually enjoying this so far. It's like, I keep saying it, but it's a lot more nicer looking than what I remember.
Watch out, there are eggs in here, so
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely nicer than what I remember. Oh, heads up. 8 meters in front of me.
can't see anything.
Right on top of me, apparently. 4. There's a dead facehugger.
Well, I might worry it's
Yeah, literally, it's right. Unless it's that guy. But the thing is, he wasn't moving, so that makes no sense.
Might have been a little baby one.
Oh, I have to go around. Is that a turret or just a light? Oh, it's a... Wait, why have they got a camera?
It's camera. Don't forget, it's you wearing it's on it. They've been watching.
I love the way it's an old film style one.
I won't let him go because he's gonna blow us all up.
Oh! He's down.
Come cut me down. Come on. Poor asshole. This is Winter. I've located keys from Rhino 2-3. There's some bodies down here, but some are missing.
We're good.
There are one or two Marines
Yeah, we're good.
from Rhino 2.
Camera's clearly the Xeno only fan, says John. I know, right?
A lot of sense that.
Winter, regroup what's left. Get him back to the hangar and the rest of 2-1. Do not engage.
Our mission was to recover the flight data from the Sulaco.
Son, I gave you that mission and it's over. Now regroup and come.
We have to know what caused this. The flight recorder can get us that. With all due respect, sir, my
Due
squad...
respect means you shut your goddamn mouth and follow the orders. Actual out.
Yeah, I'm with that guy.
The flight wreck isn't too far.
Keys, what the hell?
Link up with Rhino 2-1.
So this is 2 games that have been about the Sulaco's flight recorder now. Isolation and Colonial Marines.
You guys on the way back?
No. You gotta buy us 10 minutes to grab the flight wreck.
I do like
The Marines aren't gonna...
Huxon's
Got 5.
assault
Now
rifle
recorder
though.
and get back here. Keep an eye out for Bella, Keys. A rot of ashes, Marine.
Keep an eye out. Thanks, O'Neill.
I'm taking a look at all these little panels again. Because of what they were like previously.
Something's
Heads
down
up.
with us. I won't let him take me again. Contact!
Oh. Honestly, I'm liking the way that it looks without having reshade on it at the moment. Oh. It looks impressive for a 2013 game that's had patches. Except Isolation isn't considered canon. This is, says Devasia. I thought Isolation was considered canon now.
Isolation is canon because they made a book about it as well.
Oh. This one isn't canon either. Fox scrapped the canon status for it a while ago when everybody had the backlash. Because I remember that. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa. Did I just crouch by accident? Okay. Is there an alien? Oh, yeah, there's an alien outside the door. Oh, there he is. You misread. Except Isolation is considered canon. This isn't. Sorry, Devasia. Sorry. I totally misread that. I was trying to speed read while playing the game. Incredibly sorry about that. Okay, here's your health, here's your armor. Here's your alien running at you at literally 2 miles per hour.
And that's why I got a shotgun on.
Heads up. Okay, it's fine. No big deal.
Yeah, it's just an alien job.
Yeah, if it was me, I would have had aliens come out the room that we'd just been in because you're always focused in front of you at the moment. So hitting you from behind would be amusing, but apparently they're only coming from the front. I'd just be really nasty on these style games, you know, like the Rebellion one.
Yeah,
That reminds me,
there's-
have you got AVP for PC?
Yeah, I played it years ago.
I was going to say, because if we can play it on co-op, right? Or is it not co-op? I can't remember.
It's not co-op. It's
Oh. It's
the
single
one
player
big
only,
gripe
right?
they had with that game.
If that was co-op, that'd be brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Because that was a much better game. Like the aliens, the way that they attack you in that, and the way that they move in that one, I'd have them be doing that kind of stuff in here. You know, like we're focused just down this corridor now. Hit us from behind, you know, make it more exciting, make it so you're wondering where they're all coming from. I say that and they actually do start coming from behind now. Maybe it's just me being a bit too critical. Oh, I'm down. I don't know how that happened, but... Oh, come on now. He opened the door. Oh, that's a lot of Xenos.
Yeah.
Can I use one of the power loaders, please? I feel like isolation shouldn't be canon unless there's something about the ending I missed as Devasia. Yeah, they didn't finish off the ending, really. She just kind of was left floating in space.
Well, they did.
The sequel was like,
The
what?
sequel was like an app from phone.
They should have made that into a proper game. Instead of doing it as a phone app.
Well,
'Cause
they
they
was
did-
supposed to make a number 2, but the company that made the game turned around and said they weren't making another one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so they stopped it.
God, that makes me annoyed that... Because
Because
Isolation
apparently
on its own was really good.
Sega wanted to move on from Aliens because Fox wanted them to.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense to me at all.
Oh crap. I keep pressing the wrong button for melee here. I keep pressing crouch instead. And this isn't too bad so far in terms of the way that it's set up. It's just the whole thing of the aliens kind of not being too creative in the spawns that kind of makes it seem a little bit dull, but that's just me. Maybe the occasion where you shoot at them and they stop for no reason. You need it like Fire Team where they're just swarming you over and over and over and you can't deal with it. You have to constantly fall back and be like, Shaun, I'm almost dead! Run! I did like that though, where he just charged you and then took a load to the face and still kept coming.
Dude, I was still blasting him. I've got these flamethrower and machine gun one, you know, just to put damage down, range, but he's the bit where he just goes stupid mode.
This game looks fine, but it would have been better if it wasn't tied to the Alien franchise, this guy. Indeed. Wait, why is your character just chilling out? What? On my screen, your character literally just took a grenade to the face like it was nothing. You're like
that's-
Terminator. Imagine Arnold literally stood in front of it as if nothing had happened. It literally just looked like you just took it. Nothing happened. You just stood there and you didn't even flinch.
I'll accept that.
It's like, wait, what? When you watch the stream, I don't know whether it's just because of how slow it played out or what, but it was nuts. It literally looked like the explosion happened and you just stood there and took it. And then the umbilical exploded. It was like, what?
Nice, yeah.
Damon says, just finished my drones. They're super cursed. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, I saw him.
This is Sephora Actual. 2-1. Can you read me?
So wait, we just ran down the corridor, it blew up, and then we ran back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And now we're gonna have to
remember.
open this door again. Oh, we gotta go down here.
Yes, sir. Any thoughts on the exploded chest issue?
Just upgrade him again a sec.
En route to provide casevac and ground support. That's almost 80 Marines en route, and we gotta get them somewhere to land. The hangar's out of commission, but we got room in the cargo base.
Understood.
They just asked about, the exploding chest burster thing. And he just shrugged it off and told them we're gonna need somewhere to land. Wait, what? No line of dialogue or anything?
I am looking forward to that third person above Aliens game.
The RTS one.
Yeah, it looks like the trailer looked amazing. Like you can actually seal doors off and that.
I like the look of it. We're gonna have to see how it plays because you and me have
Plus-
played other stuff similar, so it's not too bad for us.
It's co-op and it's on Game Pass, so I'm happy. As long as it's got Game Pass, I'm happy. I don't
Yeah,
have to buy it.
as long as it's on Game Pass.
Sending back a live feed. Oh, wait, this is
Yeah, it literally says Wellington on it right there.
So, humor me, right? If, looking at this now, the company don't like, well, the Marines don't like Weyland-Yutani to begin with, right? Because of them being a shady company. But we only establish it in the film that that specific group of Marines don't like Wei because they found out what the company's doing, which implies that nobody else knows that Wei dodgy. So why do these Marines all of a sudden start going like, oh, it's the company, dude? And they're already suspicious anyway, you know?
It's because Wellington and the law use the Marines to do the dirty work. If they
Yeah.
don't use use mercenaries or the android units that they have. So all the Marines hate the company. It's like if you read the River of Pain book, you literally find out that the Marines there hate the company because all they want is to use the Marines as like an asset.
I love your walking animation right now. You're just bobbing up and down repeatedly with your hand on your ear. Is this modded or vanilla? It's vanilla.
It's vanilla.
What's wrong?
I forgot what went wrong with the development of this game, Sister Asia, so I won't say it was bad all the way through. So basically, what happened with development was it started in the early 2000s for the PlayStation 2, and it then went out of, public view for ages. And then it comes back, and we find that Gearbox is doing it, and Sega is the ones that are giving them the money for it. But a load of other companies had seemingly helped work on this, at least 2 others in the meantime, and Gearbox had just been given it to finish off, kind of like with Duke Nukem. Oh crap. And exactly like with Duke Nukem, Gearbox finished it, but again, there's that whole story that came out. I don't know what happened with it, but apparently during development, all the money that Sega gave them to test the game and polish it and make it how they wanted it, apparently Gearbox took that money and instead of using it for development, funneled it into Borderlands 2's marketing at the time. And as a result, this didn't get the polish or correct amount of work and oh crap, support it should have had because of them not having enough money.
No,
To which
Gearbox
Sega then-
was given the game, I think,
To
but
which-
they used other companies to
do it.
license. Yeah, so really, all these companies that show up on the game actually did work on it through Gearbox because Gearbox was passing it off to other companies. That's why it seems a bit odd in certain areas. And yeah, what Dave's telling you about Sega and that is true. 'Cause
Okay.
they did what was it?
They were going to
Released
sue him.
the,
I just can't remember what happened with that lawsuit, like whether it went through or not.
The way they argued it is they delivered the game that Sega wanted. They just didn't deliver
No.
the game that Sega paid for. You know what I mean? That's why Sega said they'll never use Gearbox for Aliens. That's why.
Or anything. Oh,
Yeah, anything.
watch out, 'cause I just realised we got friendly fire on.
Is that why it's
Embezzling,
using all
yeah.
that?
This is the game that ruined Gearbox's reputation. No. Duke Nukem definitely helped put a dent in that. And before that, it was... Halo's PC port was a bit of a dent. I wouldn't say that it was a massive one that everybody noticed at the time. Like, I'll give him that. At the time, when Gearbox put out the PC port, the only thing that anybody on Halo PC mentioned about was the netcode and the lack of co-op. But it's like, they made a PC port of Halo. So, people didn't complain that much. But then as time went on, they started complaining about the shaders. And then that became more of an issue to the point where it's like, yeah, the PC port is crap. Everybody knows the PC port is crap nowadays. And then I think after that, it was Duke Nukem Forever in this. That's what really sealed the nail in Gearbox. And then they didn't help by making Borderlands pretty much I wouldn't say boring, but Borderlands 1, they annoyed everybody because of the ending. And then Borderlands 2, they started making annoying meme characters like Tiny Tina. And then they just kind of leaned heavily into that in future installments and DLCs. So it's just like, oh, okay. I think Borderlands was the only thing keeping them afloat at one point.
Yeah.
Hey, Hicks is shotgun. I could be wrong, though.
Nice.
They're supposedly through some of the cache at Borderlands. Yeah. Let me correct myself. This was the final nail in the coffin, says Blades. Yeah, definitely. I forget the name of the guy in charge, but his words have as much value as post-Fallout 76 Todd Howard's voice. So the guy in charge at Gearbox is Randy Pitchford. He originally did levels, or did a couple of levels for Duke Nukem 3D back in 1997. And then, since then, he somehow progressed up in the company until he got to be the head of it. He's also the guy that left apparently incriminating...
Watch out, lad.
Incriminating evidence of minors on a USB file in a public restaurant, or I think it was like a pub or something. And that was already disgusting. God damn, we're gonna have to restart then. Because I'm incapacitated.
Where the...
Blah. Yeah, he also left...
You will respawn in a sec.
Incriminating evidence of minors in a pub on a USB that he just left out on a desk. And that also contained leaked documents for some of the games he was working on as well, apparently. Which is weird.
Yeah.
As Civvy calls him, Greasy Pitchford. Yeah. Was Todd Howard ever taken seriously? I honestly don't know. What do you think, Shaun? Was Todd Howard ever taken seriously?
He was until the end of Borderlands.
How the hell do I pick the pulse rifle again? How do I even select the weapon wheel?
Press Y.
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I do have some of the other stuff.
Because you can select only two of your weapons, see.
I'll do the pulse rifle. But yeah, I don't know how people like that stay in the positions that they do. Oh.
It's all the shares they get for being leader. You know what I mean? It's like when you CEO, you're paid in shares as well. So
yeah. By the way, all this is, as far as I know, all this is news that has come out from other places. Like, I'm just telling it as, like, second-hand information to you guys. You could probably go look all this up if you want more information about it yourself. But honestly, I just go off what everybody else is saying, so I'm not sure whether all of it is true or not. But I do remember all this news coming out, so... Oh, crap. Trying to get you up now. Go, 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 go! Oh, wow, two of those aliens just stood by the door there. Wait, what? Am I down again, or is it... Why does it keep on doing that transition? It keeps on doing that weird transition where it fades to black, and then it puts me in another room. It's like, if you're going to do a loading screen or something, do a loading screen.
Because apparently, Alien Isolation was going to have, like, the Colonial Marines attached to it as well.
And then they saw this and decided not to, right? Because I remember you saying that.
No. Alien Isolation 2 was supposed to extend from the app where she gets saved and she's on a spaceship shuttle to escape an alien, like from Alien 1.
Yeah.
And then she finds evidence where Mum's being Ripley's still floating out there.
Yeah.
And she's about to an explosion on a mining drilling site on a planet, which if you've read the River Payne books, Ripley actually does she survives in Aliens 2, because she gets found, but she actually does get found 30 years before that,
Before
well, 20 years
30161.
before she gets
Oh,
found
151, sorry.
in Aliens. Yeah. So yeah, it's really weird how, and apparently Ripley's daughter finds the planet where this big explosion's on, but she finds some colonial marines. The story's really weird. How Fox wanted it to link to Ripley and her daughter.
They
Continue
need,
on from Alien Isolation.
honestly, they need to do a completely new cast, and I don't mean like, Prometheus. Like, Prometheus and the one after it, what is it? Covenant. It's like, those ones, I don't mind them, but they definitely don't feel like the standard Alien romp that you get. I'd just go for a completely new cast in the Alien universe, you know.
Well, the funniest thing is, the River Pain as LV-426, then they have Ripley getting found 30 years after Aliens 1. And then you have another one where it's literally Ripley's great-great-grandson goes to the planet that she gets found on, that she makes the explosion in this mine platform.
Okay.
Really weird. So it all links together.
I was the
So
way
you got
we're
the
fighting
fight
Wayland
team.
Yutani now.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
So you got the Fire Team games, which is actually a book as well. So
I like Fire Team. Fire Team is really good. Oh, what?
we're, oh,
I was sat next to... I was
A
sat
barrel?
next to the other guy, and then next minute the entire level detonates and kills me?
I'll get
okay.
you, well, I'll spawn you in a sec.
These alien animations trigger me so bad, says Damon. They're not too bad. Their AI doesn't function because of a single typo. Yeah, it does work, it's just not as good. It's what they call pathing. Basically, the AI figures out a bunch of different optimized routes through the level and where it can spawn in and stuff. And with pathing, it's meant to calculate that a lot faster and be more aggressive. But because of the typo, it kind of screws with the pathing, so it only works half as well.
Plus, I would have liked Rebel doing a number 2 of Alien.
Rebellion doing AVP would have been, yeah. Power loader. Oh, power loader?
I think you should be able to get in that, lad.
It's highlighted it, but it's not allowing me to. I want it in the power loader, but it won't. Oh my god, what? Oh, come on, game.
My apologies.
That's just nasty. I love the way it moves at like 50 miles per hour. It just looks super sped up for no reason.
It must have took some speed.
That thing's supposed to have weight to it. Oh, I
Yeah.
love the way you only use it just to do that, and then that's it. Hey, Marcus! Devasia says, I've watched what happened on the subject, so I know some of it, I just forgot because it's been like a week or something. I say that about a lot of franchises, to be honest, but familiarity is a driving force for this crap. It's like I wish they'd just get away from Ripley just so they can move on with the stories, you know. It's like, I understand Ripley is an iconic character and everything, but the more you try and delve into a character and have everything connect to her, the more it ruins it, you know. Seemingly. Those rounds, they're full. Remember, Dave, you're not allowed to have fun, says John. Hey, Dave, what do you think of the movie The Green Mile? I just rewatched it a few hours ago. Honestly, I can't remember it. I swear I've watched it at one point, but I honestly can't remember it off the top of my head. Sounds really bad of me, but did you ever look at the Hacksmith? They did a power loader. Yeah, they did. They did the toy one that looks. It's basically like a tank with a flamethrower on top for the toy, but they didn't put the flamethrower on it. I don't think. But yeah, the Hacksmiths one is brilliant. I'm actually happy about that one being made. I watched, you know, all the updates for it when it was getting done as soon as they came out. So cool actually seeing. Basically, I remember a guy that I used to know as a kid. He had that power loader as a toy, and when they're there saying in like the first couple of videos, "Oh, we'll research what's better, a mech with legs or a mech with treads," I'm there looking at what they've got, and I'm thinking, or what they're gonna do, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Why don't they just do like this toy, and then next minute they bring out the toy for reference? So I was like, yes, familiarity. You know, this is going
See,
back.
I had the spaceship when I was a kid.
This is going back like 20 years or something though, since I'd seen that toy. Oh.
See, I like the dropship, the alien.
Yeah, the dropship's
Aliens
great.
2 dropship.
Oh, we can shoot through the window, okay.
And I had the APC that literally could, you know, attach to it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I enjoyed it. Like, I look at the models now. If I wanted to buy the same toy, just for giggles,
Cost you an arm
it
and a
costs
leg.
like, yeah, it would literally bankrupt me.
It's what happens when stuff becomes collectible and
The funniest thing is, you got them from Poundland for £1, and
Yeah.
now they're like fucking 300
100.
quid.
yeah. I had the power loader with the treads and the turret on top, says Damon. Yeah, that's literally the same one.
Oh, the hugging lad.
Tom Hanks needs a prison guard. Oh, I remember that one, yeah. I remember it a little bit.
He's already dead, O'Neill. I'm fine. We'll be off in
From what I remember, it's a really good film.
It's good to see some
I had that as a kid. Even back then, I didn't like it, says Devasia.
War is under attack, and we're on our way to
He was breaking up a second ago, says Marcus. Yeah, it's just a little bit, it's fine.
O'Neill. I'm fine.
Yeah, I remember the guy that well, one of the guys that I knew that had that toy. In his room, no joke, it was an absolute cluster of toys. Like, he had that in a small, you know, like plastic shelf. And then next to it, he had the Power Rangers Megazord, the Dragon Zord, and then a
Yeah.
couple of the weapons that, you know, the toy weapons that made up the power bow, not the power bow, the huge weapon that they combined all the weapons into off the first series, the one that looked like a crossbow. It's like he had some of the weapons for that strewn in around the room as well. I'm trying to remember what else he had, because he had those for ages, and then I remember the day he got a PlayStation, because he was sat on the PlayStation for the entire day playing, I think it was Gran Turismo or something at one point. Because I remember there was another guy that moved into him next door that used to be into BMXs and stuff, that used to mod his bike out loads, and he had Resident Evil on the PlayStation, and Alien Trilogy, and Rayman as well. And he also had a bunch of Power Rangers stuff and some other like role-play toys. I remember him having some like guns and then like a plastic riot shield and stuff.
All personnel on the USS Sephora.
See, my friends hated Power Rangers, so I was the only one that had the Power Rangers stuff. And then the PlayStation was my first game was Dino Crisis, so
Oh, nice.
then it was Resident Evil, but also Star Wars, you know, the rail shooter one,
Yeah.
for the PlayStation 1.
I think I remember. Was it Jedi Power Battles? It's not exactly a rail shooter. It's like a third-person one where you can play as Jedi.
No, it was literally. Oh, you were part of the rebellion.
Yeah.
You were in a Y wing, an A wing, and a B wing, and then you would land on the planet after doing all this flying around,
Yeah.
and then do a rail shooter in like a clone of a rebellion slash imperial base on an ice planet. It was really
Huh.
weird.
You
Good.
have to try looking for
Loved
that.
playing it. And then GTA 1, GTA 2, yeah.
Let's see what chat
Man.
says. Devasia says, to be fair, I was a kid who always had unrealistic expectations for things when I was younger. Marcus says, I had Bionicle, Pokemon, Digimon, other electronic toys too, but I can't remember the others. Now apparently I'm just redundant, says Devasia. I remember I got into Cyber Units figures, says Damon, for a few years, and I got most of them. Me being a dumb kid years ago, I kick myself to this day. It's like, I remember being so in awe of everybody else as a kid, because like I had a bit of Lego that my parents got me from like the 80s, but apart from that, like we couldn't really afford anything. Like it was always sort of like can't really afford too much, and even though Lego wasn't as expensive as it is now, still pretty pricey. So it's like, yeah, we'll get some Lego, and then I think the only other thing I had eventually was a Mega Drive, but even then I only had like the Sonic games and that was it. Oh, maybe Super Hang-On. We had to borrow like everybody else's games because we didn't have much. So
Oh, dude, I was in the same boat, so I had the guy that came around with all the games on
Yeah.
Friday nights.
you always have that
And
one guy that
literally
had
went-
games through the butt.
Well, he would drive around in like this chassis Ford model, like extended boots, and have like bread basket boxes, but with games in. So you would have the Sega side, then you would have the PlayStation, the Mega Drive, and PC games, and he'd be like, "Oh, you can rent some, like literally like Blockbuster did, but
Oh,
literally
yeah.
cheaper." He
Out the
like,
back of
"Oh,
a
you can-
car, yeah.
You can rent these Sega games for like £5 for the weekend. And
Yeah,
you'd be
yeah.
like, oh, can I choose? Yeah, if I haven't got it, then somebody else has took it.
Honestly, like, it was crazy. Like, I kind of enjoy it back, like, remembering that kind of stuff. Because even though we didn't have much, it was fun. Because I remember we went to a lot of car boot sales, you know, or as Americans will probably know them, yard sales, where you literally just go outside to a large area and try and buy stuff that's like second hand off people. Or even third hand or whatever, however many times it's been passed around, but we used to do that a lot because we didn't have the money. So we used to get like a lot of our stuff, like second or third hand. It was like, it's what happens when you don't have the money, man.
Well,
I come from a poor
I
family,
used to-
so...
like all my mates used to get all the stuff, and literally my mum saved up for like 6 months for the white Power Ranger,
Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
Megazord. And when the Chinese, when they changed the models over to like the dragon and that, she literally saved up another 6 months to get the red dragon Power Ranger Zord as well. So I
yeah.
loved it, me, because I just literally put it on the like my window frame because it costs so much.
I remember my parents and my grandparents saved money together to get me a bunch of Power Rangers stuff, because I remember I didn't have the original I didn't have the original Megazord. It was all my other friends that had like the Megazord and the Dragon Zord. And then I remember going to a car boot sale and getting the Dragon Zord on its own. Then in another one I eventually got the Megazord for like cheap, but all the stickers were like rubbed off it and everything. And then I remember we started being able to afford stuff a little bit when my dad got a better job. And I remember it because both him, my mum, and my grandparents saved up loads. I think it was the second season of Power Rangers where they had the White Tiger and the Thunder Zords, and then they still had the Ultra Zord from season 1. I remember when that happened, that was where we started getting more money. So literally they spent everything on getting those for me when they first came out. And then I remember after that they saved up again and got me the Shogun ones, and then I think it ended with getting the first round of Zeo stuff. But by that point, like I said, we'd actually got somewhere a little bit, so we could get a little bit more. But it was still a load of saving up even to
dude.
do that. So
I remember
Yeah.
vividly. It was the 27th of June, I was just Sonic had just come out,
Yeah.
and my mum literally pulled me out of school because no, she didn't pull me out. She came and picked me up from school, and I was like a kid, and she literally said, "We're gonna go town in a bit." And she left it till 5 o'clock, and it was just shutting. You know the game store where we used to.
Oh yeah.
Before it moved.
Yeah.
To like the new area. Because where it used to be, Argos used to be there, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one inside it, she literally frog marched us there, and the stores were all shutting, and she literally walks me up and says, "I want Sonic, and I want these teddy bears and all this." And she was like, "Yeah, it's your birthday, why not?" And she literally got them, and then a couple of days later, she got the Green Ranger's sword.
Oh,
And she was like,
nice.
"There you go." And I was like, "Cost a fortune." She was like, "Yeah, well, it was your birthday, so what?"
I know, right? Yeah, I remember.
I always looked at that and was like, God, she literally took me to town at like nearly 6 o'clock in the evening, knowing I had school the day after, and then turned around and went,
Here you
"You've
go."
got Sonic, so you can still have the day off of school as well." I was like, what? And she's like, "Yeah, it's your game. You can play it on the Sega Mega Drive."
See, the funny thing is, it's like, while it's nice having a little bit more money, at the same time, it's like, I still like those kind of years, because it's like, I don't know what it is, but I think it might be my mentality a little bit, but like, over the past couple of years, when I've really been thinking about how I'm progressing, you know, compared to my parents, my brain started going, you know what, dude, you might not have a lot, but at least you got a house and a missus, and sure, life's a struggle, especially with, you know, your disability and everything else like that, but you gotta admit, that struggle is a little bit more fun at times, and I'm like, okay, it makes it entertaining, but maybe not so much, you know. It's a weird feeling to be like, yeah, life's a little bit less boring with you having to struggle all the time, but goddamn, you know,
Well, you can
I'm
tell
not
how
so
old
sure.
I am. Literally, the Sega Mega Drive came out when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's like when the Mega Drive came out. I'm trying to remember. How old I was. I remember I got a couple of them because we had our house broken into. Like, no joke, we had our house broken into like about 5 to 6 times when I was younger, and every single time the Mega Drive would get stolen on all the games. So I must have had like 3 or 4 Mega Drives, and every time I think at one point the insurance helped cover it, and another time the police helped recover it and all the stuff. And then I think it was the last time we had to actually replace it ourselves and all the games. And it was just like, oh, you know,
Well,
because
I remember me
so
dad
pricey.
literally kicking off because he was like, "I don't want to buy it, it's so expensive." And then he started playing a game on it, and then he just loved it, and he turned around and went, "Oh, I can see why you want to play this." And then he turned around and went, bought a couple of games, and then I remember a couple of, like, PlayStation was just coming out, and the Sega Mega Drive wanted to show its power, so you had to buy another Sega Mega Drive to
The
attach
32X.
it. Yeah, and my dad turned around and
Oh,
went, "Why do I need to buy another Sega Mega Drive to attach it to make it look powerful and be powerful?" I went, "Yeah, but Dad, this magazine tells me I can have it this way."
dude, remember?
He's like, "Doesn't make sense." So he walked out. 2 hours later, he literally walked up to me and went, "There's your PlayStation. Forget your Sega Mega Drive. This
Dude.
is more better." And I just looked at him and was like, "Why?" He went, "Yeah, because I want to play this game on the PlayStation as well." And
Without...
I didn't even play it for like 2 days because my dad turned around and went, "I bought it for me instead."
Without mentioning, obviously, our location properly, remember, you know, in the centre of town where Game used to be?
Yes.
In the very centre. So, remember when that used to be Electronics Boutique?
Yeah.
That, like, really ages ago. I remember seeing the 32X on sale in Electronics Boutique and being like, the heck is this? And then it's got, like, Knuckles Chaotix with it, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, that looks interesting. But we never
Because
got it.
I turned round to him because I used to get all the magazines once a week, like just one magazine. about the consoles, and I was like, oh, so I attached this console with my console, and then it makes the game more powerful because that's all it kept saying.
Yeah.
And then I showed my dad it, and then he flipped over the page, and it showed the PlayStation with Tomb Raider, and he literally went out and bought a PlayStation just to play Tomb Raider.
Can't
And
beat
I
Lara,
sat there
man.
watching him, and he was like, yeah, I enjoy it. And then the next minute, 2 hours later, he went, I've got to go to town again. Because he had smashed the remote up because he couldn't do this jump to the point.
Nobody can
So
do
he
jumps in Tomb Raider. It's the worst game ever for trying to
He literally
to do
smashed
precise
the
jumps.
remote up, and he had to go out and buy another remote because he broke it. And then he broke it again a couple hours later. And I remember my mum saying, it's for the kids now because you keep breaking the remotes. And the funniest thing is I actually played the level that he's trying to do, and I did it within a couple of minutes. And he was like, how did you do that? Show me. And I showed it him. He was like, I was doing that. I was like, Dad, but you're not timing it.
Back
You got to
when
jump at a certain period.
back when games were literally half the current price that they are now, and when each controller was literally like, I'm trying to think, it's either a third or a quarter of what they are now. Like, no joke. Controllers now are like, what, 70 to 80 bucks each?
Yeah.
And they used to be 20, because I remember getting a DualShock for that.
And because I didn't like, because he kept getting angry, I remember my brother breaking the disc by accident, and he went out and got Dino Crisis and Tomb Raider again. And like, my dad wasn't on good money, like, but like a kid at heart, he just wanted to play it. But then when we started playing it, he was like, oh fine then, I'll actually play with this console instead.
So,
And then he used to go around his mates and play Doom, you know, and stuff like that on PC.
Yeah.
And I remember him taking me to his friends to
Okay.
pick something up, and then I saw
what?
his
I used go on.
his PC, and I was like, oh, what's that? And he was like, oh, you're way too young to play this. And then 2 minutes later, he's showing me, he's like, oh yeah, it's Duke Nukem. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, oh yeah, if you do this to this woman, she literally does this. And I was like, oh, what? And then next minute, he turns around and goes, oh, do you want to see something more hardcore? And he showed me Doom, and he was like, do you like it? I was like, yeah, I'm killing demons, why not?
The funny thing is, I didn't actually know of Doom properly outside of its, its name. Outside of just the name Doom. I hadn't actually seen or heard anything about it until Doom 3 came out. And it sounds really bad, but it's like, it's primarily just because everybody that I know just wasn't into it. You know.
No, I just knew it as my dad's friend's demon game. That was it. He
See, I
say
didn't even
Doom.
know that.
Like, he would only let me play the first mission.
Okay.
And then he'd give me the cheat for all the weapons.
Let's see what chat
then
says.
I found out he QA tested for it and stuff like that, so, which made me laugh.
Chat says,
that's
Marcus says, I remember having a lot as a kid personally. My family is not rich, but they do really earn their money. After some time, we were given money and told we could buy what we wanted. Not a lot, but still.
Oh,
Oh crap. Hang
don't
on.
pick me up, lad. Literally, the turret's right there unless you turn it off.
I'm complaining, says Damon, but honestly, I miss my mum and my dad. Devasia says, I don't recall Tomb Raider's jumps being that difficult to pull off, but at this point, I'm so used to it, I might just be misremembering. Yeah, a lot of people complain about jumps being a little bit, a bit too.
What the hell?
Apparently, you left the lobby. Do you want to set it up
Why
again and invite me?
Why did I leave the lobby when it was my...
I have no clue. Invite me again, and we'll jump back on, and I'll feed the hedgehogs in the next 10-15 minutes. Hey, Animu Templar, nice to see you again. Yeah, it's like...
Well, I may have to go, lad, because my mother's shouting now.
Yeah, okay, that's
Give
cool.
her medication anyway.
That's cool, man, it's fine. Yeah, just finishing up. I remember like
Well,
I
we've got
used-
Iron Rain tomorrow, so
yeah,
I think.
I remember going around friends and playing stuff more because we didn't have a lot of stuff. And I remember the first computer I touched. It was at a friend's house. It was the same guy that had got all these toys and everything else. He got a home computer before anybody, and I remember playing Jedi. I think it's Jedi Knight. It's the Star Wars FPS games for
Oh,
the
yeah, I know
PC.
which one.
One's
Yeah.
like Doom, and then the one after it is basically like Doom or Quake, because it's in 3D. I
Star
think
Wars
Dark
Dark Shadow or
Forces.
something.
Dark
Yeah,
Forces. That was it. I remember he had the demo for Dark Forces 2. Dark Forces 2, I think it is, on his PC. And I remember we played that and MechWarrior 2, I think it was, or MechWarrior 1 on his computer, like, every single day. And, yeah, it was nuts.
See,
Absolute nuts.
I had a friend like that who would just suddenly appear with everything that you just started playing. So, like, we had a Sega and he would have two Segas. And he would
Yeah.
have leads attaching to him and have all the games that you would imagine. But it didn't bother me because I knew on Friday this guy's going to show up who's one of my dad's mates with like 50 Sega games, 20 PlayStation games, and tons of PC games. And he would go, right, for 10 quid you can have 5 games. So I would just play Disney, Aladdin or stuff like that.
Oh,
It
Disney
didn't really
games on the
bother
Mega
me.
Drive were great.
It didn't bother me because I had Fantasia and stuff like that because I like games like that. And
Yeah.
when Aladdin came out, I like games like that, so it didn't really bother me because he would just come into school and show everybody that he's got his new game. But I knew at the end of the week I was going to play that game anyway because the guy's going to show up, and even if he doesn't give me that game, I was going to
You
play
can at least get it
something
for a bit.
age 18. Like, don't forget, you had the Predator 2 game, you had Lethal Weapon game on the Sega Drive, you had, Terminator and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
didn't really bother me because, yeah, his parents got him all the PG games, but my dad and mum would literally turn around and go, yeah, we'll take one of them 18 games. Which one is it? Well, it's Predator 2. Fuck yeah, I'll go and play that. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me, and then when PlayStation came out,
Damon says, yeah, you're thinking of Dark Forces for mine. Yeah, it was Dark Forces.
like, the PlayStation came out, and I wanted to play Dino Crisis because it had dinosaurs, and Jurassic Park 1 had just come out at that time.
No, I
Or
think
just a
it was.
couple-
I think it was earlier because JP1
Yeah.
is 93, and I think Dino Crisis was about 2000, if I remember rightly. I'll have to have a look. Just give me a sec. I swear Dino Crisis over here came out like 2000 because it's a very late PlayStation 1 game. Hang on.
Might have been. I'll
Uh,
double check that as well.
PS1 Dino Crisis UK release date. Let's find out. 1999, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right, so, no, because Dino, is it?
hang on.
Jurassic Park 2 was round about that time, because Jurassic Park 3 was in early 2000s.
I'm trying to figure it out, but apparently Google through Steam is being funny. Hang on. Yeah, JP2 The Lost World was
Yeah,
1997.
So, yeah. So, when the PlayStation came out, we had Resident Evil, which my argument to my mother and my dad was, you let me watch, like, Wolf films, you let me watch Nightmare on Elm Street, you let me watch, no.
So why can't I play
Halloween.
this?
Why can't I play Killing Zombies? You let me watch zombie movies, but you won't let me kill zombies in a game. I actually won the argument because my dad literally looked at me mum and went, he has a point. You literally let him on Friday nights watch horror
Bravo.
movies. Your mum let him watch horror movies, so why can you not actually play a horror game? Yeah. So I managed to talk him to turn around and go, yeah, can we just start getting 18-year-old games? It would just be much better. Yeah. So I didn't care that my mate would get all the games, because once I moved to PlayStation, I knew that he would get it at some point, but
Yeah.
it didn't really bother me because I had people, you know, the guy would show up and go, which game do you want to play? And then once I checked my PlayStation myself and was shown how to do it, the world was my oyster then, because
Yeah.
you may have a PlayStation with all the games, but I could literally go down the street with a chip PlayStation and literally get a save chip card with a couple of games on.
Yeah.
But I've just spent a fortune, and I'm just spend like £5 for all of them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it didn't really bother me. And then other things was like Action Man and stuff like that. He was a bit like, I would start playing with it. He would come up and like have like all the Action Man series from like that year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you just have millions of pounds? And he was like, no,
I
it's
know,
just
right?
my dad. Mum, and I'm like, yeah, but you've just bought an Action Man series and it costs like £20 a pop for an Action Man,
Yeah.
and you've got like 10 of them, and I only have one of them. So one Action Man would just get me through the, whatever I wanted. But
Yeah.
I was like, do I just play this toy and then you suddenly appear with that toy?
Rubbing it in.
Yeah, that did bother me because it just made me laugh. It's like, oh, I like Pokemon cards now. Alright. And then 2 days later he'll come in with like a big binder of Pokemon cards, and I'm like, okay, well that doesn't mean, what the hell? Do you know how to play them? No, but alright, we'll have a battle, and then next minute he's losing his cards because he doesn't know how to battle.
God damn. Anyway, it's been fun. I hope chat's enjoyed, at least, with us reminiscing as well. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. We appreciate the company. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Bye.